Hello and welcome to Off the Page, a newsreel from Eureka, the bookstore for the young. I'm Sahar, here to give you news about new books in each age category. Now, we have quite a few books to get through today, the first of which is Something's Hiding by Pooja Sagar and Divya George, which is the story of this little girl whose father, Colonel Nath, tells her that his uniform is called a camouflage, and that makes her imagination run wild with all the different environments that her father could be blending into. So every page almost becomes a little bit of a game with its incredibly detailed illustrations of you trying to find her father or different kinds of creatures in different environments, making this an incredibly fun read that you want to come back to again and again. Our next book for young readers is Something's Floating by Daya Subramanian and Rika Sakai, which is a beautiful little book that starts off at a moat in front of a castle and then kind of expands onto little other aspects in the surrounding area, such as a boat and the people in the boat, the night sky. And I especially love the way that the water has been painted in this book. The words themselves are incredibly poetic and put you in almost a bit of a trance as the story flows beautifully from one page to the next. Duster by Richa Jha and Neeti Banerjee is the story of Duster the dog who is really a cat. Or is he? This book follows the adventures of Duster and his human as they try to coexist. This book and its illustrations are incredibly expressive and incredibly goofy and are guaranteed to leave you with a smile on your face. Next, we have two books in the What the Artist Saw series, books created in collaboration with the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the first of which is about Claude Monet, written by Amy Guillermo and illustrated by Ginny Su. This book goes into his childhood and the circumstances of his life and the people that he went on to meet, who knowingly or unknowingly placed him in situations that led him to become the great painter that he did. It talks about his travels, the things and the people that he saw that inspired him. It talks about his love for gardens and flowers and how he surrounded himself with them. This book is incredibly informative but also incredibly beautiful, with art that often spans across entire pages. The second book in the series is about Louise Bourgeois, also written by Amy Guillermo and this time illustrated by Katie Knapp. This book dives into the life of this French-American artist and how soon after she was born, World War I began, and how that altered the course of her life. Both of her parents would restore old tapestries, and that served as just the beginning of her life as an artist because she grew up surrounded by fabrics and textures of all kinds. This book talks about how she would often recycle things and just use things from her past to create her sculptures. And often at night when she couldn't sleep, she would use that time to draw, to put her mind at ease. This book invites you to look around yourself as she did and be inspired by all the unique things that surround you that may have gone unnoticed. Abhindranaths House of Stories by Likhla and Eva is a book that's part of the Art Exploration series by Art First and the Kiran Nadar Museum of Art. This book celebrates and explores the life of artist Abhindranath Tagore and his childhood home that he grew up in. It explores what it might have looked like to a young boy, how it could have felt wild and just bigger than the rest of the world. I could really go on and on about the art in this book and how it just makes you want to put it on your walls to display. This book is also incredibly interactive. It invites you to stage plays of your own and gives you the material to do so at the back. And next to the art on its pages, it also has questions asking you to stay with it a little longer. Too Bright to See, a middle grade novel by Kyle Lukoff, has won its fair share of awards, as you can see, and all with good reason. In this book, we follow 11-year-old Bug, who is used to haunted things. That kind of comes with the territory when you live in a house that's as old as the dirt that it sits on. So Bug is used to doors slamming at times when they shouldn't, at cold spots in the house, and unfamiliar faces in the mirror. But the summer before middle school, when Uncle Roderick passes away, things begin to change. Suddenly there seems to be a spirit in the house who seems intent on making their presence known and communicating something to Bug. And as Bug goes about trying to unravel the mystery of this new ghost, answers to questions that hadn't even been asked begin to reveal themselves. This is a book about family and grief and wanting to be true to yourself before you fully know who that is. Our young adult selection for the day is Friends Like These by Meg Rosoff, which follows 18-year-old Beth who moves to New York the summer after high school for an internship with a newspaper. I also want to take a small moment to compliment the cover because I really think the black and white photo along with the pink and the yellow works really, really well. This book takes place in that messy time in everyone's life where you feel like you know nothing, the world seems so big, and you feel like you have absolutely no confidence in yourself. And that's exactly how Beth feels when she arrives in New York and has to live in this cockroach-infested apartment with a couple that looks like they're falling out of love. She feels completely out of place until she meets her fellow intern, Edie, who to Beth looks like she dresses impeccably and knows everything there is to know about everything and has lived in New York her entire life. And Edie takes Beth under her wing a little bit, and Beth is incredibly grateful. But as their friendship grows over the summer, Beth begins to realize that maybe Edie isn't everything she's built her up to be in her head, and maybe she has a few lies and secrets of her own that she's been carrying. This book is darkly funny, messy, and about friendships that change you. Liked what you saw and heard? Want to buy any of these? Log on to www.eurekabookstore.com and place your order now. Also, follow us on Instagram for a daily feed of books. If you happen to live in Delhi or are just passing by, please drop by at M75, M Block Market, Greater Kailash Part 2. Our team will be more than happy to help you choose books. Please let us know what you liked or didn't in the comments down below, and if you have any suggestions for what else you would like to see, please let us know.